20 trees that bear mountains of fruit. Who doesn't like fresh fruit, straight from the tree? In addition to being delicious, some trees produce so much fruit that it seems magical. If you have a backyard, a farm, or even a small space, planting one of these trees could be a great idea. They fill the table with food, attract birds, and even make the environment more beautiful. In this text, we are going to talk about 20 trees that bear fruit in droves, in a simple and easy to understand way. No complicated names or difficult rules, just what you need to know to choose the best option. Why do some trees bear more fruit than others? Some trees are like those people who always have a surplus of food. They produce much more than they need. This happens for a few reasons. First, some species have been selected over the years precisely to bear a lot of fruit, like those orange trees we see in large orchards. Second, the climate and soil help. If the tree is in the right place, it grows strong and bears fruit year-round or in large quantities. Finally, some trees are naturally generous, like the Jabuticabera, which fills its trunk with blackberries. Another important thing is care. Well cared for trees, with the right amount of water, pruning when necessary and a little fertilizer, produce much more. It's like taking care of a plant at home. If you water it every day and put it in the right light, it grows beautifully and produces flowers. It's the same thing with fruit trees, only instead of flowers, they bear fruit. The 20 trees that bear tons of fruit. Let's now get to know 20 trees that are real fruit factories. Some you already know, others may be new. They all have something in common. They produce a lot and are easy to grow, as long as you give them what they need. 1. Hose. Who has never seen a hose loaded with mangoes? In some regions, a single adult tree can bear more than 500 kilograms of fruit per year. Mangoes are sweet, juicy, and can be used in juices, ice cream, or even eaten on their own. The secret is to plant it in a place with sun and space, because the mango grows a lot. 2. Orange tree. The orange tree is one of the most popular trees in Brazil. A well-cared-for tree can produce between 200 and 500 kilos of oranges per year. You can make juice, eat it fresh, or even sell it. There are several types, such as pear orange, bahia, and lime. The cool thing is that, in addition to being fruit, the orange tree has a pleasant smell and attracts birds. 3. Coconut tree. The coconut tree is that beach tree that everyone knows, but it also grows well in other places. An adult coconut tree can produce between 50 and 200 coconuts per year. In addition to coconut water, which is refreshing, the pulp can be used in sweet and savory recipes. The coconut tree needs sun and water, but it is a resistant tree. 4. Jabuticabera. This is a Brazilian tree that bears fruit directly on the trunk. An adult jabuticaba tree can produce up to 500 kilos of jabuticabas per year. The berries are sweet and great for making jelly, liqueur, or wine. The cool thing is that, even in pots, the Jabuticabera bears fruit, but in smaller quantities. 5. Avocado. Avocado is a versatile fruit, used in salads, smoothies, and even savory dishes. An adult avocado tree can produce between 200 and 500 kilos of avocados per year. There are several types, such as avocado, fortune, and frost. The avocado tree likes sun and well-drained soil, that is, soil that does not get wet. 6. Banana tree. The banana tree is not exactly a tree, but it is a plant that produces many bananas. A bunch can have more than 100 bananas, and a banana tree can produce several bunches per year. It grows quickly and is great for those who want fruit all year round. It just needs plenty of water and sun. 7. Goiabera. Guava is a delicious fruit full of vitamin C. An adult guava tree can yield between 100 and 300 kilos of guavas per year. There are red and white guavas, and both are great for juices, jams, and jellies. The goiabera is resistant and grows well in various types of soil. 8. Peach. Peach is a sweet and juicy fruit, perfect for eating fresh or making jam. An adult peach tree can produce between 50 and 150 kilograms of peaches per year. It likes colder climates, but some varieties adapt well to heat. The important thing is to prune the tree every year so that it bears more fruit. 9. Plum tree. Plum is another fruit that comes on small trees, but produces a lot. An adult plum can yield between 50 and 200 kilos of plums per year. They are great for eating fresh, making sweets, or even drying. Plums also like colder climates, but some varieties adapt to heat. 10. Fig tree. The fig tree is a tree that bears fruit twice a year, in spring and autumn. An adult fig tree can produce between 50 and 100 kilos of figs per year. Figs are sweet and can be eaten fresh, dried, or in recipes. The fig tree is resistant and grows well even in pots. 11. Cashew tree. Cashew is a delicious fruit, and the cashew tree is a tree that bears many fruits. An adult cashew tree can produce between 200 and 500 kilos of cashews per year. In addition to fruit, chestnuts are also highly valued. The cashew tree likes sun and sandy soil, common in northeast Brazil. 12. Soursop tree. Soursop is a large, sweet, and pulpy fruit. An adult soursop tree can yield between 50 and 100 fruits per year, which is equivalent to around 100 kilos. Soursop is used in juices, ice cream, and sweets. The tree likes hot and humid climates. 13. Pitangara. Pitanga is a small fruit, but comes in large quantities. An adult cherry tree can produce between 50 and 100 kilos of cherry fruit per year. They are great for juices, jellies, and even eating fresh. The cherry tree grows quickly and is resistant. 14. Acerola tree. Acerola is a small red fruit, full of vitamin C. An adult acerola tree can produce between 30 and 50 kilos of acerolas per year, but as it produces several times a year, the total quantity can be much greater. Acerola is used in juices, ice cream, and even vitamin C capsules. 15. Passion fruit. Passion fruit is a tropical fruit that grows on a vine, but can be grown as a small tree. A passion fruit tree can produce between 50 and 100 kilos of passion fruit per year. It likes full sun and needs support to grow, such as a fence or wire. 16. Pomegranate tree. The pomegranate is an exotic fruit, with many sweet seeds. An adult pomegranate tree can yield between 20 and 50 kilos of pomegranates per year. They are used in juices, salads, and even savory dishes. The pomegranate tree is resistant and grows well in hot climates. 17. Lemon tree. Lemon is an acidic fruit, used in juices, seasonings, and even home remedies. An adult lemon tree can produce between 200 and 500 kilograms of lemons per year. There are several types, such as Tahiti lemon, Sicilian, and Galician. Lemon likes full sun and well-drained soil. 18. Almond tree. The almond tree produces a fruit that, on the outside, looks like a peach, but inside has an edible seed, the almond. An adult almond tree can produce between 20 and 50 kilos of almonds per year. They are used in sweets, savory, and even vegetable milks. The almond tree likes drier climates. 19. Pecan tree. The pecan tree is a large tree that bears delicious nuts. An adult walnut tree can produce between 50 and 200 pounds of nuts per year. They are used in sweets, savory, and even gourmet dishes. Pecan trees like cooler climates, but some varieties adapt to heat. 20. Apple tree. Apple is a popular fruit, used in pies, juices, and even savory dishes. An adult apple tree can produce between 100 and 300 kilograms of apples per year. It likes colder climates, but some varieties adapt well to heat. The important thing is to prune the tree every year so that it bears more fruit. How to choose the best tree to plant. Now that you know these 20 trees, you may be wondering, which one is best for me? The answer depends on a few factors. First, think about the climate in your region. Some trees, such as apple trees and peach trees, like the cold, while others, such as coconut trees and mango trees, prefer heat. Second, look at the space you have. Trees such as mango and pecan trees grow a lot and need space, while others, such as Jabuticabera and Pitangara, can be planted in pots or in smaller backyards. Another important thing is the time you have to take care of the tree. Some, like the banana tree and the acerola tree, grow quickly and bear fruit in a short time. Others, like pecan and apple trees, take a few years to start producing. If you want fruit soon, choose a fast-growing tree. If you're not in a hurry, you can opt for one that takes longer, but will bear fruit for many years. Basic care to have lots of fruit. There is no point in planting a tree and forgetting about it. For it to bear a lot of fruit, some basic care is needed. First, water the right amount. Trees like bananas and coconuts need a lot of water, while others, like pomegranates and almonds, like drier soil. Second, fertilize the land. You can use organic fertilizer, such as chicken manure or compost, or chemical fertilizer, sold in gardening stores. Third, prune when necessary. Some trees, such as apple and peach trees, need to be pruned every year to produce more fruit. Another tip is to protect the tree from pests. Ants, aphids, and caterpillars can attack leaves and fruits. To avoid this, you can use natural products, such as smoke syrup or neem oil, or chemical products sold in specialized stores. The important thing is to keep an eye on it and act quickly if you notice a problem. What to do with so many fruits? If you plant one of these trees, chances are that in some years you will have more fruit than you can eat. What to do with the excess? One option is to share with neighbors, friends, and family. Another is to sell the fruits. Many people make money selling fruit at fairs, markets, or even online. You can also make preserves, jellies, juices, and sweets to sell or consume throughout the year. Another idea is to donate to charities. Many NGOs and churches accept food donations and distribute them to people in need. In addition to helping those who are going through difficulties, you avoid wasting food. Conclusion: fruit at will. Planting a fruit tree is like having a food factory in your backyard. In addition to saving money, you always have fresh, healthy fruit on hand. The 20 trees we've listed here are great options, because they produce a lot and are easy to care for. Just choose the one that best suits your climate, space, and available time. Remember, every tree needs affection. Water, fertilize, prune, and protect from pests. With these simple precautions, in a few years you will have a strong tree, full of fruit, and that will feed your family for a long time. And the best part, in addition to fruit, you'll have shade, birds singing, and a more beautiful backyard. So, how about choosing one of these trees and starting planting today? Here are some more tips for you to make the most of your fruit trees and ensure a plentiful harvest. Choose the right place. Before planting, observe where the sun hits your yard. Most fruit trees need at least 6 hours of sunlight per day to produce well. If the space is small, opt for smaller trees or dwarf varieties, which adapt even to large pots. A jaboticaba or patanga tree, for example, can grow happily in a 50-liter pot, as long as it receives sun and water. Plant at the right time. Each tree has its best time to be planted. In general, the beginning of the rains, spring or early summer, is ideal, because the soil is moist and the roots develop better. But if you buy a potted seedling, you can plant it at any time of the year, as long as you water it frequently in the first few months. Make room to grow. Some trees, such as mango and jackfruit, can grow huge. If you plant near walls, sidewalks, or other trees, they will compete for space and nutrients, and fruit production may decrease. Check the size the tree will reach as an adult, and leave it at least 3 to 5 meters away from other plants or buildings. Take care of the soil. A healthy land makes all the difference. Before planting, mix some organic fertilizer, such as earthworm humus or tan manure, into the hole. Then, make a layer of mulch, like dry leaves or straw, around the base of the tree to maintain moisture and prevent weeds. Every 3 or 4 months, fertilize again with organic compost or bone meal. Protect against pests. Ants, aphids, and caterpillars can attack leaves and fruits. To avoid this, check your tree frequently. If you notice eaten leaves or damaged fruit, try to identify the pest and use simple solutions, such as water with neutral soap or smoke syrup, which you can make yourself at home. Avoid strong poisons because they also kill good insects, like bees, which help with pollination. Harvest at the right time. Each fruit has its harvest point. If you harvest too early, it won't ripen properly. If you let it go too far, it could get damaged or fall on the floor. For example, bananas are ready when the peels start to turn yellow and the corners become rounded. Avocados should be harvested when they are firm and ripen off the tree. Ask the seedling seller or search online for the ideal point for harvesting your fruit. Enjoy every fruit. If the tree bears more fruit than you can eat, don't let it spoil. Make jellies, juices, sweets, or freeze for later use. A loaded hose, for example, can yield tens of kilos of fruit. Freeze the pulp in bags or share with neighbors and friends. This way, nothing goes to waste. Be patient. Some trees take a while to bear fruit. An orange tree, for example, can take 3 to 5 years to produce well. A cherry tree or acerola tree can start bearing fruit in just 1 or 2 years. While you wait, take the opportunity to care for the tree and watch its growth. When the first fruits appear, the wait will be worth it. Planting a fruit tree is an investment that pays off for many years. In addition to delicious fruits, you will have a cooler corner, full of life and which attracts birds and butterflies. And the best part, every time you pick a fruit from your backyard, you will feel that satisfaction of having grown something with your own hands. So, choose your favorite tree, roll up your sleeves and get started today. Your future self, Eating fresh, healthy fruits will thank you. Here are some more tips for you to make the most of your fruit trees and ensure a plentiful harvest for a long time. First, it's important to know that each tree has its preferences. Some like strong sun all day, like the mango and cashew tree, while others do better with a little shade, especially in the first few years, as is the case with the Jabuticabera. Before planting, look at the space you have and choose trees that adapt well to the climate in your region. For example, if you live in the south of Brazil, where it is colder, trees such as plum and apple trees will grow better. In the northeast, with its hot and dry climate, trees such as guava and umbuzeiro are great options. Another thing that makes all the difference is watering. Young trees need water frequently, but not too much. A good tip is to water in the morning or late afternoon, when the sun is weaker, to prevent the water from evaporating too quickly. Once the tree has grown and is firm, it will need less water, but never let the soil become completely dry. A simple trick is to stick your finger in the soil close to the roots. If it's dry up to about 5 centimeters deep, it's time to water. Fertilizing is also essential for the tree to grow strong and produce lots of fruit. You can use organic fertilizer, such as well-tanned chicken or cow manure, or even compost made at home with leftover fruit, vegetables, and eggshells. Spread the fertilizer around the tree, but without touching the trunk, and cover with a layer of earth or dry leaves to protect it. Doing this 2 or 3 times a year, especially in early spring and autumn, helps a lot. And don't forget about pruning. Cutting back a few branches every now and then helps the tree grow healthier and produce larger, sweeter fruit. Pruning also prevents the tree from becoming too tall and difficult to harvest. The best time to prune is in late winter, before the flowers appear. Use sharp pruning shears and cut off any branches that are dry, diseased, or growing into the tree. If you are in doubt, ask someone who already has experience for help or look for simple videos on the internet. One thing that many people don't realize is that some trees need company to produce better. This is the case of the avocado tree, which produces more fruit when there is another plant nearby to pollinate. Others, like the Jabuticabera, can fend for themselves. If you have space, plant more than one tree of the same species or different species that bloom at the same time. Thus, bees and other insects will help carry pollen from one flower to another, increasing the quantity of fruit. Finally, keep an eye on pests and diseases. Ants, aphids, and caterpillars can attack leaves and fruit, while fungi leave dark spots or mold. If you notice something strange, like leaves with holes or fruit rotting prematurely, look for a natural solution. For example, a mixture of water and mild soap can ward off aphids, and spraying water with garlic or pepper helps scare away ants. If the problem is more serious, such as a fungus, it may be necessary to use a specific product, but always prefer less aggressive options and follow the instructions on the packaging. Having fruit trees at home is like having a small private orchard. With patience and care, you will harvest fresh, tasty, pesticide-free fruit whenever you want. And that's not all. Trees make the environment more beautiful, attract birds, and even help to freshen the air. Just imagine being able to pick a juicy mango straight from the tree or make ice-cold acerola juice with fruits you grew yourself. It's a priceless pleasure. So, don't waste time. Choose a tree you like, prepare the soil, plant it with care, and monitor its growth. Every new leaf, every flower that appears, and, of course, every fruit that ripens will give you enormous joy. And the best of all is that, over time, you will be able to share these fruits with family, friends, and even neighbors. After all, a well-cared-for tree is not just yours. It is part of the lives of everyone around you.